everyone, I'm Rachel and I teach IB English A here at royalAIB. Now today, I would like to tell you 3 big tips on what not to do in IB English A. Now you're probably watching this video because you are stuck and you need help with your essay writing and analysis, and today I would like to help you with that. Now the first thing that you should not do in IB English A writing is to misuse SAT vocabulary. Now, many of you would have taken the SAT classes before, and you know that you would have a lot of reading and writing and learning about difficult words in SAT. Now, I'm not saying that SAT words are bad, but I'm saying that misusing them or using them when you do not know their meaning is bad. Now, when you use SAT vocabulary in the wrong way, you run the risk of writing essays that are confusing and not clear in expression. So on the screen right here, I have a real student example from a paper 2 essay. Now my student here wrote, in the elucidation of the author's works, it is imperative to delineate the multifarious intricacies inherent within the textual fabrics, thereby preferring an erudite exegesis that substantiates the veracity of the discourse. Now, did you understand what that meant? No? Well, I didn't at first. It took me some time to get used to what he was talking about. And you can bet that your examiner in the exams would have the same problem. It's really annoying to read an essay full of big words that are not clear. Now, what is wrong with the words in this sentence? Now, for example, an erudite exegesis means that this student here is giving a religious explanation, which is not what you're doing in an IB English A essay, right? And elucidation, veracity, and delineate are very big words that can be edited for clarity. And here is an example on the screen that is clearer and more straightforward in meaning. So I can say, in exploring the author's works, it is crucial to examine the various thematic complexities in the texts. This would allow for a thoughtful analysis that supports the accuracy and relevance of the author's message. Now look at how much clearer that is. It allows the reader to get very quickly the meaning and the point of what you're saying, instead of wondering what this word means and what you're trying to say. That's the big difference. Now, how about this example from paper 1 then? Now, this example is from a speech analysis, and the student here is trying to tell me or the examiner that the words used in the speech are really difficult and that might make the audience confused. Now, however, he has used very difficult big words that he learned in an SAT class that are not suitable in an IB essay. Now, he wrote, cognizant of the exigencies of the contemporary society, the speaker endeavored to promulgate a labyrinth lexicon which inadvertently engendered a miasma of obfuscation in the speech. Now again, it had to take me some time to process that, right? And when he uses words like labyrinth and obfuscation, that's actually you putting your own personal opinions by criticizing how it's bad in a confusing way. Now when you're writing analysis, you want to stay neutral, right? So instead of saying words like that, you should be using words like creating confusion or jargon or complex vocabulary to make it clear, right? So in this example here on the screen, where I've edited that sentence to make it clearer, I would say recognizing the challenges of modern society. Challenges would be a better word than exigencies. Exigencies means a desperate, urgent need, which is not very relevant in a speech analysis, right? The speaker aimed to use jargon and complex vocabulary. So this replaces labyrinth lexicon in the bad example to convey his message, but unintentionally created confusion in his speech. So here, the meaning is so much clearer and it's easier to get as well, right? So that's the first thing. Do not misuse SAT words that you do not know. Now, secondly, many of you make the mistake of only describing or summarizing what you see. Now, remember, in IB English A, your main focus is analysis. You should be doing deep analysis and not simply telling me what you see or explaining very superficial things in a paper 1 text or summarizing or describing the characters in a paper 2 text, right? So if you write something like this in a paper 2 essay, now here's an example from a paper 2 essay on The Great Gatsby. This student here wrote, in The Great Gatsby, Jay Gatsby throws extravagant parties and falls in love with Daisy, and the novel therefore explores how he wants to win her back. Now, I'm sure you know by now that this is the story of the play, of the text, and by simply telling me the story and what the character does without analyzing why he does that or what that party means, you're not going to get a very good score in your essay. Now, how about putting in analysis? Now, when I put analysis in, I am analyzing why the character did that and what that party stands for. So for example, I can say the author utilizes Gatsby's lavish parties as a symbol, a deeper meaning of how it's superficial and how it's hollow. Now, what is this superficial and hollow thing? The American dream, right? And I'm saying that even though it's opulent and grand, it's empty underneath it. So that's a deeper message, the theme, right? And then, why is Jay Gatsby doing the party and throwing the party? Because he is infatuated with Daisy, and therefore it's a motif or a repeated message in the text that, you know, your individual dreams are very futile and cannot be achieved in reality. So which reality is this? It's the values of 1920s America. So in this great example, you can see how the content is doubled, literally. You're telling me deeper meaning about what the author means to convey, the message, and even a critique. That would be analysis, instead of telling me what the character did. Now, how about for paper 1? Now, on the screen here, you see 2 photographs by Barbara Kruger. Some of you might have studied her works in your IB English A course. So when you simply describe by saying she uses bold text and images to tell us things about power and use phrases like her body is a battleground and I shop therefore I am, that's you telling me what you see, right? That doesn't get you a lot of marks because I can describe what I just saw also. I want you to tell me the deeper meaning of what you have just seen. So in my example here on the screen, I can say that her work is powerful and she uses bold text as layers over the photographic images to challenge societal norms. That's you analyzing author's purpose, right? What about word choices? The phrases like your body is a battleground. It critiques how women's bodies are commodified, which means to be used as objects, right? And so this has the impact of making the audience question who has power in society and what is the identity of women. So again, a deeper message, bigger themes, right? How about color? Red and black. Red and black would symbolize urgency and maybe, again, a power structure. So all these things put together would give you a deeper analysis than simply telling me this text is what I see in the photograph, all right? Now, the third tip I have for you guys is to not analyze visual elements, right? So some of you get a paper 1 text in your exams, and you would see examples like this on the screen, a brochure, advertisements, and a blog or an article. And a lot of you would spend time analyzing only the words in there and not pay attention to the pictures on the screen. And that's a huge mistake. Now, of course, you should be analyzing diction or word choices and literary devices in there, but ask yourself, how do the graphs, the cartoons, the photos, the colors, or even the font sizes as well help to communicate the message, right? So ask yourself, what is the impact of that visual element? Okay, ask yourself, what is the interplay? So the interplay means the connection, how they work together, right? How the visual and the textual work together to communicate meaning. So that's what you should be looking for in a paper 1 analysis. So avoid making this mistake in your paper 1 analysis, right? So that's all I have for you on what not to do in IB English A. So simply avoiding these 3 big mistakes will allow you to do a lot better in your IB English A. I hope this has been helpful for you. Thank you very much.